Yeah, good morning. This is Bang Bang Rail. Yeah, how we going? Just a little quick comments. Some like people put in the comments about me and Matty, saying that I'd get myself in trouble with the IPP. Listen, I ain't doing any looking for Matty to bash him up and all that to hurt him or whatever. It's I'm not into that. Yeah, I'm a little bit more bigger than that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not into that. Going around bashing him, knocking doors down. That was 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I'm not into that no more. I'm going forward. As I say, I'm going to do a book. I'm on the verge of it now, and I'll start it. Well, I've already started it actually, but the one that started, I didn't really like. It was not me, so I cancelled it, and we're starting again. But if you don't like it, then the people don't like it. You know what I mean? It's not me. It wasn't me. Anyway, what I was saying, I had a talk with Fish yesterday, last night, and he said, "Yeah, mate, it's be a good thing to get you and Matty doing a charity fight. That'd be a laugh. You know what I mean? That'd be good. I don't know where it'd be or whatever, but that'd be good. A little charity thing. That'd be excellent. Because I've been told that Matt is still training. I don't know how true it is. I've seen him on other Instagram in the ring doing a little bit of sparring and on the bag work, and yeah, he's all right. He's good. It's good. It's good. What he's going to be like in the ring with me, I ain't got a clue. But let it be a laugh. It'd be good, it'd be good. It'd be good to be a charity thing, and if Fish wants to organise that, we'll get it on, yeah? That'd be so funny. That'd be good. Because, anyway, I was talking about with a couple of my mates about this sort of thing, about charity events and all that, can I get myself into trouble? Because it was going to happen with Mickey Failures a long time ago, remember? And Mickey Failures slagged me down, said I was a crackhead and this, that and the other. And as he does, that was his game. And I've been told that Mickey Field was quite ill. I don't know. He's a guy that keeps himself fit, but being on the roids for such a long time, it does play effects on you. I mean, I was on the roids for a bit of time myself. I was like 19 and a half, 20 stone. Went to 22, nearly 23 stone on the voyage. You know what I mean? And it got so bad that I couldn't even walk up the stairs. I'm not joking. You know what I mean? I had a spiral staircase, but a big wide one in my place in Kingston, and I couldn't walk up it, mate. It got to a stage where halfway, then had to come down. I was really, really bad. My lungs was fucked. My heart was going like a lunatic. But but when you're training, it's different. It seems to be when you're training, it's a different thing altogether. But anyway, that's about Mickey Theo and all that. Mickey Theo finished. Mickey Theo's going out the window. I'm nothing thinking from the other fella, Pig Porky, whatever his name is. I don't know what that's happened to him. Someone said he's really ill, and perhaps it's all the pressure that they've had from people outside about their podcasts and what they're doing and what they're not doing. It could be about that. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to sort of get this on. If we can get it on with Matty. Some charity thing would be quite good. You know what I mean? It'd be quite good. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference in weight, but not much difference. I think Matty's about 8 stone and I'm about 17 stone. No, it's okay. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? Could you imagine it? 8 stone. I don't know. I think he's about 13, 14, 15. I'm not quite sure. At the moment, I'm 18 stone 12, which is quite big. You know what I mean? I've started taking my dogs for walk back. I've started taking my dogs back for walks because I've got to start losing weight. I had a bit of trouble doing the weights again. I went over the top with the weights, lifting too much heavy weights, and I had a bit of shock and shock reason. So I had to go back out to hospital and sort things out. Yeah, but I can't really lift really heavy weights no more. So you've got a bit of light ones, but plenty of repetition. So I don't mind. It's the same sort of thing for me. You know what I mean? Just keep going, innit? Just keep plodding on. I was talking about years ago, yeah, this is like people go, oh, yeah, fucking all are doing that, but this is years ago, yeah. Me and a friend of mine called Peter Kelly, Big Peter, nice fucking man, mate. Me and him was together for a long time. And he came out of prison and started talking to me. He said, you know, what anybody that's really greedy, Ray? I went, yeah, I know a few people are really greedy, mate. I said, most of them are really greedy, you know what I mean? He said, someone that's really greedy. I went, yeah, I do. He's geezer called Bob. I know him. He's like really, really greedy. And anyway, met this geezer Bob. That's how long that is. Remember the videos, the JBC videos, the Sony ones, the big fucking video. They was in them days. It was quite expensive. I don't know. I think it was about £650, £700, maybe more than that, maybe 900. I can't remember now. But very, very expensive. And Peter said he can get loads of them. He can get loads of them and to join anybody for it. He's got to be greedy because he's got to take a lot. I mean, yeah, I do. This geezer Bob. So I met this guy Bob a couple of times with Peter. Peter saying, look, have you got a lorry? He says, yeah, I've got a nice 7-tonner. He went, oh, look, I'll fill it up. You know what I mean? I'll fill this up and, you know, and we crack on and I want good money for it. You know what I mean? I'll deposit now. So give me a little deposit. And anyway, it was only a little, I think it was about £1,000, something like that. You know what I mean? So anyway, we had to meet about the videos in a pub. So pulled up the lorry outside. Peter, my mate Peter, he's dead now, God bless his soul. Rest in peace, Peter. His wife and his kids do podcasts now and again. Not podcasts, comments now and again, and love them to death, you know what I mean? And they've sent me a few pictures of Peter, and I love them to death anyway. So Peter met Bob, and I'm in a pub, and Peter drove off with the lorry with another guy. No, it's not, I don't even know nothing about it. That's what made it worse, you know what I mean? It's going to be like thing, you're going to get a few shillings out of it, and I'll be happy, you know what I mean? Anyway, Peter drove off with the lorry. About 2 hours later, Bob's going, where's the fucking lorry? What's going on? So I said, all of a sudden, Peter pulled up outside. He went, look, it's all loaded up for you, you know, and that's it, it's outside. So now Bob's very suspicious, walks around, opens the back up, and there's all the boxes. Anyway, there's all the boxes in there at the front. Puts a slide down. In the back of his cab, he's got a window that looks into the back of the motor. Anyway, so he's got in the thing, and he can see the videos and this, that, and the other, because it's on the window. It's got the video recorders and all that, you know. Anyway, he drove off. He gave Peter Kelly a right lot of money. Peter Kelly's given me a drink. Peter's gone away. Right, so I've gone home. Also had a backing phone call. Why? What? Your mate Peter's had me over. I went, what? What he done? Ah, Peter, I love you, mate. It was a terrific, what a sting, mate. He went away. He got boxes. He knew what he was doing. He had it all arranged before. Got a lot of these boxes from the place. Filled them up with cement or bricks or whatever he done it with, and put them in the back of the motor, so they're really heavy, right? And round the glass, round the side of the motor, he put stuck the video thing on the window, right? So he's like, you see it, you think the boxes are in. There's no boxes in at all. Only boxes in the front, back of the motor. With Bob dropping to let the tyres down, so it's flat. So when he drives away, he's quite odd, you know what I mean? He must have felt it anyway. So now he's going, oh, you fucking had me over. So I'm laughing to myself. I thought, well, Bob, you're a greedy man, you know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. Anyway, so I went over Bermondsey. I met Peter. I said, what's going on? He went, yeah, he's got us. He's a lad, he's Peter. I love him to death. Anyway, he said, oh, look, he's a little bit of money for you. And it was sweet. I love Peter to death, mate. It was so funny. He was like, big man, big as an house, powerful as anything. I love him to death, you know what I mean? And me and him go back a long way in Albany. And me and him was a bit of a force together, me and Peter. I mean, everybody knew me and Peter was together, and we've had a few rows in with people, and this, that, and the other. And I told you about the tank and what happened with the tank, but the tank was involved with some nasty people in there, some nasty light-skinned black geese, white geese, and there was a little firm by the shop. But the biggest firm in there, I think, the funniest firm in there was my mate Togie Ludlow. Togie Ludlow, my mate Togie Ludlow was the most dangerous man I've ever met in my life. He was so dangerous, mate. He was so dangerous. He would he would cut your throat in seconds. You know what I mean? And some of the things I've seen him do. There was a guy called Ronnie Walker. Yeah, Ronnie Walker. I don't know if you're watching Ronnie Walker, are you, mate? Anyway, Ronnie Walker got a bit flash. In Albany, you could have things sent in, watches and it's that and the other. But anyway, they let him have a Rolex oyster. Crazy. A Rolex oyster in prison, you know what I mean? So I let him have a Rolex oyster. About after 2 or 3 weeks, I heard him screaming in his cell. And what they've done, Togie and a few others got him on the bed, laid him down, strapped him up, and nicked his watch, yeah? I've gone in there, all gone in there with pillowcases over their nuts, and Ronnie Walker's screaming like a pig, but he ain't, I mean, there's no way he's going to get away with it. He can't, there's no way in a million years, right, that Ronnie Walker could do anything about it, you know what I mean? He was like, and Togie sort of had his watch, I think he sold it for about $1,000 or something, worth about, what, 6-7 grand in them days? This was like, it's got to be 74, 75 around them times. Mad. Albany in them days was a mad prison. I watched the Ben Atchett thing last night about Broadmoor, a place like that. Well done, Ben. Good podcast, mate. I don't know if it was, And I'd just like to say that prisons in my days were no different than Broadmoor, mate. I mean, when they had me on a 1074, it was worse than Broadmoor, mate, could ever be, you know what I mean? In 60s and 70s, mate, prisons in them days were like proper bad. I mean, Broadmoor, you're talking about you could use the phone twice a week, twice the phones. There in my times, mate, there was no phones. You was lucky to get a letter. You was lucky to get a letter to write out to your people, or with a VO in it. I'm telling you, like, once you was in prison in my time, yeah, you was in prison, yeah. I'm on about prison. If prisons were like that today, there'd be no fucking body going in prison. Believe me, mate. I mean, in them days, 3, 4 to a cell, stinking, absolutely stinking. You got to remember. 4 to a cell, absolutely stinking, mate. Do you know what I mean? And you ain't got no chance of using the toilet. Very rarely you got a chance of brushing your teeth before you get a visit. They ain't telling you. How can anybody tell you that they're coming out on a certain day? The screws in them nicks, mate, they're different kettle of fish. Do you know what I mean? They're all ex-military. I'm telling you. All military police, most of them, massive people, have a fight, go in a ring, go in a cell, have a fight with you in a cell. They don't give a fuck. You're still going to get bashed up later, but, that's how they are. But in them days, mate, you upset a screw, and then when the screws were the ones that read your letters. The screws are the ones that read your letters and put them in, they went in a tray, and they went down to the thing, and they'd be sent out, yeah? But they read your letters, so you can imagine what they're reading. They're reading all about. It's terrible what they're reading about. You could lovey-dovey in a letter, and they're reading about it. You know what I mean? You can't blame Frankie Fraser. Frankie Fraser's hung that. What was his name? I forget his name. Forget his name. Anyway, he hung the governor's dog up by its neck and killed it. Outside Wandsworth Prison, and everybody knew it was Frank. Frank knew it was Frank. They knew it was Frank. Beast, that's his name. Beast and Mr. Beast. And as Frankie Fraser says, you're beast by name and beast by nature. One day you're going to cop it, yeah? I was so, Frank couldn't fight. Frankie Fraser couldn't fight, but he was a very dangerous man. He'd run into screws and do them with piss pots and hot water and try to bash him up with legs, table legs, chair legs, you know, in them days, you know, it was a bit dangerous it was dangerous in there in them days. And it was no like exercise, listen to me, exercise, the middle walked round that way, and the outer walked right that way, and the other walked round this way. It was like, you couldn't even talk to anybody. And it was all, you got the old convicts, yeah? And I was away with them people, you know, where you talk out your side of your mouth, oh, where am I going? Because you couldn't look, you wasn't allowed to talk. You wasn't allowed to talk. And if you did talk, you'd be in trouble, mate. They'd come and smash you to pieces. I'm on about smash, they had truncheons in them days, and they used to use them, mate. They had truncheons in them days, Paddy Ryan. There's a screw in the ones called Paddy Ryan. Everybody knows that arsehole. It was a complete arsehole. He used to get people bashed up 24/7. And on about bashed up, this geezer he used to steam into people. I mean, you see him now, team-handed. They jab people up. In them days, it wasn't like that, mate. He didn't have jabbing you up in them days. I mean, I heard Ben actually talking. Yes, mate, I've had it, mate. I've had that jab, Ben. But I had it in Albany, I had it in every block in England, nearly, I was at, yeah, where they give me that jab and they give me it in the mortar. I've experienced all that, yeah. I've experienced it worse, 10 times worse than you could ever imagine. You know what I mean? But then they killed me, and I wasn't in Broadmoor, mate. I was on normal allocation, not more allocation, but normal prisons down the block, which is worse than Broadmoor. You know, Broadmoor is what it is. Obviously, it's for people who are a bit nutty, you know, nutty in the head. People who are a bit, you know, bonkers, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean to say they're dangerous. Doesn't mean to say they're dangerous. You're walking around all nutty, you know what I mean? But anyway, Ben done a good podcast. I like the podcast, Ben. It was very, very good, mate. And I hope you got, you know, straight. And he went through a lot in Broadmoor. Believe me, he went through a lot. But I went for a lot more than that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, it's not about me. It's not about that. It's about Ben. He done a good podcast, yeah. Because I mean, that was prison for him in them days. That was Broadmoor in them days. But he wouldn't have liked to have seen it in those days, in the 70s, 60s, 70s, mate. He wouldn't have lasted, mate. He was sorry and all that. I don't think they'd have put you in Broadmoor in them days, Ben. You know what I mean? Because it was a different kettle of fish. I mean, madness. And I mean, in them days, it was, as I say, shore, war shore. It was in them days, mate. And I've done it war shore in the 80s or the 70s. But, and I started my prison sentence, really, in the early 60s, yeah? As a young offenders in the Ashford Remand Prison. I mean, you can imagine, can't you? You've got a horsehair mattress, you've got horsehair pillars, you've got no fucking water, it's freezing cold, you've got no heater in there, you know, all you've got is a blanket and a sheet, you've got nothing in there, mate. And, you know, but I can't put boys 2 and 3 up, they've got to put them singly up, and I don't know why, but they do. And, but, you know, when you got a big prison, a boy can turn from 18 to 21 in seconds, and he goes in a cell with 4 or 5 men. 4 men. It don't make no sense, but that's how they used to do it. I don't, you know, and I can't remember ever being chewed up as a boy. You know what I mean? Only when I got made up. When I got made up was from a YP to a star. A star was when you had a star on the side of your black jacket. I mean, I bet I ain't no one out there who remembers the black jackets, mate. The black jacket, yeah. The dark black jacket and the grey strides and the lace-up shoes. Do you remember that? And the tie and that tie. Oh, you know, and that knitted tie. Oh, what? And the grey used to wear the grey jumpers. The only best thing I've ever known about that place was the grey jumpers. You know, I mean, I was lucky because I knew someone in the stores. I got on with some people. I was fighting all the time with screws. I was always getting bashed up anyway, didn't matter. And, you know, and I got someone to know someone in the stores, and they give me a new grey jumper. And I was like a chap, you know, grey jumper, blue and white shirt, the old tie on, and it was like nice pair of strides because you got all that, and nice shoes. You know, the shoes were quite good. If you got a pair of shoes, them shoes, they was shit, you know what I mean? You got one size 9, one size 12, and you had to take it, yeah? But if you got on with someone in the stores, They got these slip-ons now and all that game. In them days, you got your own shoes now and your own trainers. Listen, mate, prison ain't prison. It's a joke. It's mad. How can it be prison? Do you know what I mean? How can it be? How can it be prison, mate? I know you're being banged up, whatever, but you know, like you're away from your family, but it's a lot easier than there. You got phones, you got DVDs, you got this, you got that, you got curtains, you got bedspreads, you got carpets, you got everything. Your food, you can buy your own food. It's lovely. In my day, you had none of that. You had none of that, mate. You had a smelly old fucking bedspread that more like it's something wanking all over the bedspread. 9 times out of 10, that went on the floor. Then when they're leaving, they rolled all their stuff up in it and put it and chucked it on a heap. And then you was the unlucky one when you come in that next day or the day before, or whatever, the next day, sorry, or the same day. You were the one who picked up that bedspread with the guy's been wanking on it, or put it on the floor, it's got all shit on it and everything, and you've got it on your bed. And you're laying in it. You know, it's mad. You know, people like having shitting on fucking bits of paper and throwing out the window and tying it up like a parcel. That's why the shit parcel, the name shit parcel comes out in prison. Fly out the window, the cockroaches get in it, eat all the shit. While you're asleep at night time, your cell's infested with cockroaches, and they get in your mouth, they're fucking swallowing cockroaches, they get in your biting your legs, and this, and it's all full of shit. And what's going on, mate? And that's what it was about. That's what prison was about in them days. On my life. It was, listen, I'm going to do a podcast later about prisons, about old times, new times, and what it's like now. I ain't been in there for 9 years prison, but I should imagine it's like holiday camp, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll go now because I'm going out. I've got to go do something, and this is Bang Bang Rail. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm doing well on the subscribers at the minute, you know, but come on, keep going for me, and I want to get up there, yeah? Thanks so much. Look after yourself. Have a nice day, and thanks for your science. Yeah, bye-bye.